We often think of history's great figures as these unstoppable forces, just destined for greatness. But what if one of the most important missions in history almost failed before it even got started? And what if it was saved by someone whose name we barely even remember? Yeah, let's dive into that incredible and frankly terrifying story.
It's a shocking question, right? I mean, think about it. Moses, the great prophet, the guy chosen by God to go liberate his people. So why would he need saving? And how could anyone possibly protect him from the very same divine power that chose him in the first place? That's the crazy mystery we're unpacking today. All right, so picture this. An invisible attacker puts the entire mission in peril. Moses has just received his divine commission. He's on his way to Egypt. Everything is set in motion. But the biggest threat he's about to face isn't Pharaoh. Nope. It's something that finds him on the road in the middle of the night. I mean, can you imagine the pressure? The weight of this mission is just immense. Moses is supposed to free an entire nation from slavery. Everything, and I mean everything, hinges on him getting to Egypt and delivering this message. The future of his people literally depends on this journey. So the group stops at a lodging place for the night, probably just some simple inn. Night falls. This should be a moment to rest up, right? To get ready for the massive confrontation ahead. But instead, under the cover of darkness, the story takes this sharp, violent turn. Out of absolutely nowhere, Moses is attacked. But there were no soldiers, no assassins. The text just says that God sought to kill him. It's just this chaotic, terrifying moment. An invisible divine force comes down with lethal intent, and the great prophet is completely helpless. His entire historic mission is about to end right there in a dusty roadside inn. And that brings us to the Midianite outsider and a totally different perspective. Because in the middle of all this chaos, one person is thinking clearly, Moses' wife, Zipporah. As a Midianite, she's an outsider, and that perspective is the key to her understanding what Moses himself just can't see. This one moment just completely flips their roles. Moses, the prophet, the insider, the chosen one, is suddenly reduced to just being the target. And Zipporah, the outsider from another tribe, she's the one who understands the ritual logic that's at play. Her background isn't a weakness here. It's the very thing that allows her to step up and become the protector. See, Zipporah gets it. This isn't some random act of violence. This is about something ancient, something sacred that's been overlooked. It's about a broken promise, a sacred agreement. It's about a covenant of blood. So to get this, you really have to understand what a covenant is. This is not just some simple contract. No, this is a foundational life and death agreement that binds God to the people of Israel. It defines their whole relationship, their identity, and yeah, breaking its rules has some seriously dire consequences. And this covenant had a physical mark, a sign that was passed down through the generations, circumcision. It was a divine command, a sign of who you were, of belonging. But Moses, probably in his rush to get going on this epic mission, had neglected this ritual for his son, and that one little oversight, that broken step in the covenant, had just become a matter of life and death for him. So while Moses is literally being attacked by God, Zipporah understands what has to be done. She doesn't hesitate for a second. She doesn't pray for mercy. She takes matters into her own hands with a truly shocking and decisive act that is about to save everyone. Her clarity and courage here are just stunning. She immediately sees the source of the threat. She grabs the first thing she can find, a sharp piece of flint, and she performs the covenant ritual on her son right then and there. And the moment that covenant is fulfilled, the moment blood is shed to seal that promise, the lethal threat against Moses just vanishes. And then she touches Moses with the evidence of her act and says these really cryptic words. Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me. Now, this is not a romantic line. It's a legal one. She is basically declaring that through this act of blood, she has just saved his life. She paid the debt and restored the covenant. She has literally ransomed him from death. And with that, the crisis is over. The mission is back on track. The Exodus, one of the most foundational stories in all of Western history, can now actually happen. And it's all because of the quick thinking of a woman who acted as a shield for her husband when he was at his absolute most vulnerable. Just one person who wasn't even technically part of the covenant people, understood its laws so deeply that she could enforce them to save the very man chosen to lead that people. Her single, decisive action protected the entire future of the Exodus. It's pretty amazing. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Zipporah's story is this powerful reminder that behind the big-name heroes we celebrate, there are often these forgotten protectors, these unseen shields whose courage in a single moment made all the other famous moments possible. How many other crucial figures like her have we just completely overlooked?